Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have Crimson Giant versus Norther. And the Crimson, they both had a battle for this sort of area trying to begin with, or they blacklisted it. And the Crimson Giant has shared the replay saying, this should be called You Get What You Deserve. So we'll figure out what he means by that during this. And Norther, I only recognise the name as a heavy metal band that covered the final countdown in Screamo, which was actually kind of funny. But it looks like Norther is not going to expand through this little choke point area here. He's gone for 3 airfields to begin with. And the Crimson Giant is going to come down this area. He's gone for barracks on either side. And he's going for a barracks and a factory here. Oh no, that's another barracks actually. 2 barracks on this side. 1 barracks here and 2 factories. And that's SAM units instantly. It's almost like he knows what Norther's going to do. Maybe he's played him before and they've gone for air units most of the time. So he's going to counter it almost instantly. I could be wrong. We'll have to find out. Let me know in the comments if either of you watch this. He's gone for 4. He's gone for 4 airfields straight away. And he's got a barracks. He's got enough energy to potentially supply it. He hasn't started that yet though. Got quite a lot of energy wells actually in this area. So his air attack might actually be quite effective. Whereas Crimson Giant actually only has 1 energy well available in his area and doesn't actually have access to it just yet. But he won't need it. He's going straight into SAM. He's going to put his SAM units here. He's assuming his enemies here. He can see him now, so he knows they're there. There we go. So Crimson Giant is also expanding. He hasn't forgotten to do that. He's got quite a lot of expanding things as well, because these units are going to, well, some of them are going to stray off this way. That'll help him expand up towards these sort of areas of the map. It's quite an interesting map, to be fair. And Norther is still going to focus on this way. He does not know where Crimson Giant is yet. I think he's going to assume that he started this direction, as they fought over this sort of area at the beginning. Instead, he started over here, and Norther has no idea that Crimson is coming this way and can already see him. That's going to be kind of interesting to start with. Most of his units are literally moving away from his airfield in either south or up in this direction. He has built an energy well there. He's going to scout over here with his 2 strikers. That's going to reveal what he has quite early. He has spotted Crimson Giant there already, and he is going to get shot at, and he can't see the SAM that are in these mountains. So from Norther's perspective, he can't see anything going on here. And there's 4 SAMs on the ground. They are going to do a lot of damage to these strikers, and as they're coming back over this way, it looks like one of them at least is going to go down. The other one might get taken out as well. There's the last missile. It's enough to destroy it. It goes down. We have a little firework afterwards as well. So Norther's response is to stop expanding over in this direction and bring all his units back over, take out this choke point, or take control over it. Which might be a good idea, but I would be a bit concerned he's going to leave a lot of territory there up for grabs, but he does need something to defend with as well. So the Crimson Giant's pushing through with his units. He can't see anything yet to target, otherwise I would suggest using the arrow commands to get the airfields, but he just can't see him yet. So he is going to continuously capture territory, taking away eco from Norther. There we go, we can see the strikers taken off, so if Crimson Giant spotted this, he would know that the airfields are in this forest. Even though that he can't see them. So we have 3 strikers in the air now. He would have had 5 if he didn't scout out early and get them destroyed straight away. One goes down straight away. Another one's coming out now. Have a look from this side. We've got a lot of production of strikers. They can do a lot of damage when there's a lot of numbers of them, but they're not building up fast enough for Crimson's rush across this choke point. And he's through the choke point now. There's going to be very difficult pushing him back there. And from Norther's perspective, he's still going to bring his units down to get this eco, and he's probably going to bring those back up as soon as they're done. But I do think it might be a little bit too late for that. Whereas the Crimson Giant is placing his SAM units right outside these airfields. And as soon as those strikers become visible, they will get taken, or get a lot of damage to begin with, but these SAM units are coming in, and they will be doing the damage as well. There are more strikers this time. There's 4 straight away. There's going to be a 5th. So it looks like Norther is trying to take out the SAM before they build up in numbers, which is probably a good idea at this point. There isn't that many infantry left, but there is more than enough to do a lot of damage. The strikers are taking out the SAM units faster than the SAM are taking out the strikers, so Norther will gain air superiority here. But will Crimson Giant be able to bring back more SAM units? I want to see what the eco's like. So, he's managed to expand this way, and he's still expanding with units there and down here. And I think Crimson does have more potential when it comes to land. He's got 500 per minute, 540. Norther has 520, so Norther is behind. And I think that's partly because he's had to stop his expanding in this way, in this direction. And he's losing territory to Crimson at the same time. But those strikers are going to do a lot of damage, but there is a lot of infantry on the field here, and it's going to take him a long time to take him out. He does have the energy supply over here, so he is going to be able to fund these attacks quite easily. And he's keeping his attack command further back. He's trying to protect these airfields for as long as he can. So he's still going to try and expand. He's not bringing any units back just yet. And the Crimson Giant, I want to see if he's changed anything. He's building more factories. That's what he's been trying to do with his money. He's got more barracks coming in there as well. And there's more SAM coming in. But these strikers are actually growing in numbers now because there's no SAM trying to deter them anymore. So they're just going to be growing in numbers and taking these out. I'm wondering if Crimson Giant is trying to target this and get this one done before having to retreat, maybe? Because otherwise those strikers are pretty much getting free damage on them at the minute. Even when these 2 SAMs come down, they're going to get destroyed by the strikers if the strikers can defend these airfields. It looks like he might lose one of them though. This one is dangerously close to being destroyed, and that is 2 strikers as well. And a 3rd being produced. They're taken off against. There is going to be more damage coming out now. I think they might be able to actually defend this if they're quick enough and target the right units right now. No, they weren't able to do it, so Norther is actually going to lose one of his airfields. He's lost this one here. He's still got the other ones, and Crimson Giant can't see those, but I'm going to assume that he does know that they're there. Or at least there's a few around, because the amount of strikers that are in the field. And the fact that they haven't ran off and died yet. But Norther's got a different plan. He's going to build a transport ship, I think, my assumption, and he's going to try and cut across the water here. He thinks his strikers are going to be enough to defend this area now, and I'd say he's probably right for a little while at least. But he's not actually expanding that much anymore. So he's got a lot of territory he can claim over here, but he hasn't got that many units actually doing the job. So Norther might be able to fend this off for a while, but Crimson Giant is most certainly increasing his eco. He's got 700 now, whereas Norther has 580 now, so there hasn't been much progress in economy yet. But a lot of production in strikers, which is very good for Norther right now. But he's going to start having issues with his energy as they grow in numbers. As you can see, this energy is depleting very fast. And he hasn't really got the economy to get any more energy wells out. And the Crimson Giant has expanded a lot of this area so far with just 4 units. And is slowly making progress over there. He's not too focused on the expanding side because he's already set them up to do the job. How far is he in doing that? He's got 1 boat nearly built, and as soon as that's built, it's probably going to go straight off and attack. Well, go transport. But these strikers are easily going to be able to hold off this area as long as he keeps his energy supply up. Which isn't happening right now. And I know he's built something because he's out of money again. But I don't see any more energy wells. So he's still only got the one. He's got an artillery there just randomly capturing some territory. There we go, and the transport is not going to help either, because that's going to be using up energy as well. However, he has one already, and it's going to be transporting some units across. But Crimson is already over there. I feel like Crimson Giant is the wrong colour here. I think Crimson's a red colour, right? So, he should have been red. There you go, so I don't think Norther's going to be able to push very hard, but he is going to be able to defend quite easily. Over here, Crimson Giant is still expanding his focus on this now for a little bit, and he's going to try and make sure he captures everything, and not miss anything, which is quite good management while he's having the fight over there. But he does have the territory here, but it's not. He hasn't got any vision. That boat that's coming in will land here without Crimson noticing, really. But you will see the territory start to go away. And if Crimson is looking over there, which we saw he was, he'll probably notice that and try to, I don't know, amend that issue pretty quickly. There is a limited supply here. It's not like he's got any production, so this is what's going to get there. And that's all that Crimson is going to have to deal with. But I think Northern really needs to get one of these energy wells up again. Another one. He's got a lot of strikers, and this base is within range. He could have had a second energy well up, and he would have been able to push back this army and be really offensive with these strikers. Back here, yeah, you can see Crimson's able to see this, but I don't think he spotted it yet. So we can see that there's this territory going red. There we go. So I think Crimson's got a lot of forces coming in now. It's going to be a very difficult job for Norther to actually hold. And there's a lot of SAM units coming in all at once, which is a great thing for Crimson Giant, because when they come in one at a time, the strikers are going to easily take them out. It looks like we're going to have a third airfield go down. Norther is slowly losing it here. However, it is trying to take over this territory here, so... And Crimson can actually see all of the airfields now. He still hasn't spotted this territory grab over there. And I don't think he needs to worry about it too much just yet, because he pretty much has his main opportunity in this location right now, taking out these airfields. He's trying to focus on one at a time. He's moved this line just slightly across to let the infantry try and target just one at a time. Trying to get rid of it as fast as possible. And the faster he gets rid of it, the faster he gets rid of some of these strikers. There we go, that one's gone down. And we still have that airfield up. There's some strikers going off now. I think... No, he's going to come back. They're going to be fine for a little bit. But this is going to be his last airfield, and it is under heavy fire right now. I do not think Norther is going to be able to hold that off. He has managed to build a second energy well, but unfortunately right now it's a bit too late. He doesn't even need it anymore. But he is building up some artillery instead, so he has made the switch. And the artillery I don't think is going to be able to hold off the infantry for too long. He's got more artillery to deal with of his own. And Crimson Giant is switching back into artillery now that he's taken out the airfields. And it looks like he has spotted the territory grab from Norther in this area. So I think this is what he means by you'll get what you deserve. I wonder if he actually manages to push him back. There's a lot of units there, and these units are not going to be enough to take him out. But I think Crimson Giant pretty much has this location now. He's going to be able to kick Norther out of there. There you go, Norther built 3 boats, which is probably quite ineffective considering he doesn't have any production. He probably only needed 1 or 2 at most. Probably only 1 to be fair. There we go, so these units are coming in down here while these are coming in through the top, and it's confusing these artillery. There we go, he's bringing in some of these units which he still hasn't actually managed to grab the territory up here. I will point out though, he has stopped the production of those boats. But you might want to destroy this structure as well if you don't plan to use it. Because that also costs money, having new structures still there. There we go, the infantry are pushing forward. There are artillery hidden in the forest as well. So let's look from Crimson's point of view. And there's a lot more units from this side, especially coming in as reinforcements. And Crimson is not taking this threat lightly. He's sending a lot of units that way, which should relieve pressure from Norther in this location, but I don't think Norther's going to get much of a break in this. Now, Crimson is going to try and send some units down to the south to check what's going on down here. He knows some units got across via the water, so I think that's what he's trying to seek and destroy, essentially. He is going to be able to take some of these out slowly, but these are being reinforced. So even if he loses the first few fights, he will eventually take complete control over that location. Has Norther built anything over there? He has. Got some barracks up and running. One's up and running, the other's still being built. And he is going to try and keep expanding that way, but still send force this way to stop Crimson's military taking them out. And Norther is desperately trying to build structures in this area to try and keep Crimson back. It looks like the pressure is a bit too much for Norther though, as Crimson's forces are just slowly building up around his bases and taking out the production. As more production goes, it makes it easier for Crimson to take out this location. There we go, so we know Crimson's in this area as well. Have a look, he sent some units down, didn't he? Well, it looks like they were taken out, so Crimson tried to send some units down to explore, but I think they were destroyed. Over here we have the reinforcements catching up, and this will be a bit more overwhelming. He is going to be capturing the territory as he goes, which in this situation is probably not a bad thing. There we go, so we have the artillery coming from this area, which Crimson does see, and he probably has noticed this. So he knows that there are some like structures down here. There we go, so I think the pressure is caving in now. There isn't that many units left to defend. Over in this section, there's only 3 barracks up and running, and that is a large enough force to take it out. And I think Norther is about to give in as we come to the end of the match. He's still trying to claim territories with the boat though, so you've got to give him credit. He's really trying to make sure he's got everything he can out of what he's got. We have reached the end of the match. It looks like Crimson has won. Thank you guys for watching. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to click one and I'll see you there. Remember, subscribe and I'll try and make videos that you suggest in the comments. See you guys.